Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to another news video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about one player because the news is kind of slow today. It's been pretty slow. There's not really been anything coming out, or I've been waiting to see if more things come out. They haven't. So let's talk about this. Leeds United were linked with this defender in January in Nico Alver, if you guys remember that. And the defender has handed in a transfer request, according to Build. So it looks like a defender, Nico Alver, has handed in a transfer request, and we've been linked with him, and let's get into it. Leeds United are having a big summer ahead of them and have the look to reinforce their squad ahead of playing in the Premier League, of course, next season. After doing no business in January, Leeds United should have plenty to work with this summer. Despite not making any moves in the last window in January, Daniel Farke's side were heavily linked with plenty of players. One of those on the radar was Borussia Mönchengladbach's defender, Nico Alver, but no move materialised. Yeah, Alver could be one of the one that Leeds United look at once again in the summer. According to German outlet Bild, so a German outlet, the 28-year-old wants to leave Mönchengladbach this summer and has handed in a transfer request this week. He spoke with the club's sporting director and has clarified his desire to leave over the last few days. So he wants to leave Mönchengladbach. Alverde did want to leave the club back in January too. So he did actually want to leave in January, and we were heavily linked with him. But the Leeds United target remained. Alverde has started 24 games in the Bundesliga for Gladbach this season. So he has started 24 games this season. The Swiss international has made over 300 appearances for the club since joining back in 2015 in the Bundesliga. That's another thing, experience. He'll be an experienced player that will be at the club. And in defence, you look at that at centre-back and you're like, is Struijk really going to start in the Premier League? Can we trust him with all of his injury history and how he just keeps getting injured? And you're like, Alverde may be another option, even if he doesn't start. It's competition. It's competition for those starting positions. Alverde has already played under Leeds United boss Daniel Farke during his brief stint in Mönchengladbach. So he has played under Daniel Farke before. Farke was with the German outfit back for one season back in the 22-23 season before joining Leeds United in the summer of 2023. So he was only there for one season, but here's where it gets interesting. Daniel Farke, Alverde featured in 32 of the 34 Bundesliga games as the club finished 10th in the league. So they finished 10th in the league that season, and Alverde featured in 32 of the 34 games that season. So he only didn't play in 2 of those games all season. The Swiss ace clearly impressed Farke to make him so keen in January, because I think Farke might have been wanting him in January as well, because we heard about the thing about like Farke couldn't make signings and he wanted to. Maybe Alverde was one of those signings that was gonna come through the door if the club were willing to make signings in January and wanted to do it and not just save. With Farke being back to stay in charge of Leeds United next season, you'd expect him to have some say on transfers. Yeah, some say. Not the whole say of every single player, but certain, he can chip in with a couple of names of, I want this guy, I want that guy, and we'll see how it goes. It will be interesting to see if they return with a move for Alverde. He's also a quality option. Joe Rodon and Pascal Struijk have proven to be an excellent partnership at the back for Leeds United. However, they do not have too much quality in depth at centre-back, which we don't. Ethan Ampadu has regularly dropped back from midfield into the defence, with the likes of Max Wober struggling for fitness because he's been injured as well. That is something that needs to be addressed in the summer, and Alverde could represent a good option in that regard for a backup option, or maybe even a starter. It's competition. Competition's what you need. Alverde is vastly experienced and a veteran international, and a deal seems feasible after his transfer request, despite still being under contract until the summer of 2027. So he's still under contract until 2027, but he does want to leave, which is why he's handed in his transfer request. And now he does play mostly, if you look at the heat map this season, as a left-sided centre-back. So most of his game has been on the left side. The season before, it was like all over left and right. So he played on both the season before, but then the 22-23 season was all on the left. I keep going back here, and it's mostly on the left side. So mostly he does play on the left side, a left-sided centre-back. So if he was going to play for Leeds, he'll play on that left side, it looks like. I mean, it depends. Like, it doesn't really matter for me because, I know people say left-footed player on the left side, right-footed player on the right side and all that. Is he a left-sided player? He's a right-footed. So he's a right-footed player that plays mostly on the left side. I mean, some people act like that can't happen, but like some people act like it's not a thing that can happen. You can't play a left-footed player on the right side, like some people say that. But yeah, he's right-footed, but mostly plays on the left side of the centre backs. Um, you know, you look at his stats and how much game time he's played. He started at Gladbach in the 15-16 season and stayed with them all the way until this season, of course. And in that time, he played 23 games in his first season with 1,641 minutes played. He then played 32 games, so more, with 2,771 minutes played. He then played the next season 36 games with 3,183 minutes played. He then played 31 games with 2,715 minutes played, 39 games with 3,250 minutes played, 40 games with 3,472 minutes played, 31 games with 2,702 minutes played, 34 games with 3,007, 33 games with 2,620 and 602, and then this season he's played 24 games with 2,046 minutes. So that means that you look at that and you see that he's played a lot of minutes over his career at Gladbach, which you look at that and you're like, okay, he's a player that doesn't really get injured as much. You know, he's one of those players that don't really get injured as much. What was I going to look at here? There was something else I wanted to look at, and that was him also playing in Europe. He's played in both the Champions League and the Europa League. In the 16-17 season, he played in the Champions League for 6 games for 540 minutes. He then played in the, if I can find it, he played in the Europa League in the 19-20 season. He played 5 games in the Europa League for 450 minutes. In the 2020-2021 season, he ended up playing in the Champions League again, with 7 games played with 620 minutes. So that was his time playing in Europe. So he has played in the Champions League twice, and I think that's all of them. I think he's played in the Champions League twice and the Europa League once. Or is it? Yeah, he's played in the Europa League once and the Champions League twice. So someone that has experience, over 300 games for the club, an experienced player, 28 years of age, something that you need. The experience at the back is something that you need in the Premier League as well. I know it's not Prem proven, but it's quality, you know, of a player that doesn't get injured as well. So he's most likely always going to be reliable and always be fit most of the time for Leeds United if we do manage to sign him. So I do look at him as a player that I would be keen on having at Leeds United. If anyone in the comment section knows anything more about him, of how good he is as a player, let me know in the comment section down below, because I'd like to know. Because I'm not going to pretend that I watch the Bundesliga. I haven't watched the Bundesliga in years. I'll probably watch it next season, actually. But yeah, if you guys like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.